Converting new plastic surgery leads is getting more difficult for all sorts of reasons. You most likely are paying pretty hefty monthly fees to your SEO hosting company. Now, I suggest you get together with your team and answer the following questions. How many patients do we lose each year? What would it cost us to keep those patients? How does this cost compare with the cost of finding new patients? So your digital marketing agency that you use, or all the directories and everyone else who's helping you get found on the internet, they are sending you leads of prospective plastic surgery patients wanting your services. And that's where the trouble starts. So your staff starts complaining these leads are awful, or they're not serious about moving forward, or they're just price shoppers. These leads are wasting their time. Ever hear that? Sometimes it's true. Some of the leads are a waste of time. When you put your message out there into the universe to millions of people, it is a crapshoot what comes back to you. You have to take the good with the bad. And if you aren't happy with the leads coming your way though, take a look at what you're doing to attract them. The quality of the leads is dependent on your branding, your marketing message, as well as the media used to attract new patient leads, since the goal of marketing is to attract serious plastic surgery candidates to you and repel those who are not serious. But let's say you know you're doing a good job marketing you. You make videos explaining procedures, you post on Instagram, you answer questions online, and you pay to advertise. So why aren't these leads you've spent a fortune to get not converting? Well, one huge reason is because of the sheer volume of marketing messages coming at prospective patients. It can be overwhelming to research cosmetic procedures. There is so much confusing and conflicting information about the downtime, the results, the pricing, and so on. And once prospective patients determine which procedure they want, they now have to select a surgeon, and that opens up a whole other huge amount of choice. This puts fickle consumer patients in the driver's seat, and that's what is leading to a waste of your valuable time and holes in your surgery schedule. But there's more to it than that. When it comes to lead conversion, there are two deadly sins that you have full control over, but oftentimes neglect: bad phones and weak consultations. I am sorry to point the finger at your staff, but the good news is it's easy to fix. So let's break it down. Deadly sin number one, bad phones. Now, a big mistake that's ruining your marketing efforts is having front desk staff not able to convert callers to consultations. So here's the scenario. You've spent a fortune redesigning your website again to ensure Google and their rules don't ban you from the internet. And you work with a company to get your SEO in shape so prospective patients can find you online. You're most likely spending advertising dollars on RealSelf or Google AdWords, banner ads, and directories, which isn't cheap. Then you've conquered the world of social media. You've hired a team to blog for you, write content, and update your Facebook page regularly. You even assigned an internal staff person to be your social media ambassador. This is costing you time and money, but you're sure it's helping. So the stage is set and you're ready for new cosmetic patients. And all your efforts are working. Prospective cosmetic patients found you online, they learned enough about you, and they're confident you are a great choice to help them with their needs. They eagerly call your office with anticipation, knowing you are a first-class practice, only to hear, "Doctor's office, please hold," click, and now you're on hold. Or a disinterested receptionist with no enthusiasm, or a friendly receptionist who doesn't know anything. This was not the image or experience your callers expected. That incongruence between your image portrayed to the prospective cosmetic patient is lost when that image is not carried through to your receptionist and how they handle new callers on the phone. What a waste to lose that cash-paying patient before you even got to meet them. Do you monitor your calls for consistency to be sure what you think is being said is actually being said? Working with practices and call centers for years, I've learned you can't take anything for granted. Just when you think you've trained your staff, you find out they went right back to their old ways. So it takes consistent, never-ending improvement and accountability to ensure they stay professional and on script. Now, if you need help with your phones, please visit me at catherinemaley.com for a solution. And then here's deadly sin number 2, weak consultations. Let's say you have great front desk staff and they're excellent at booking callers to consults. Now, the patient comes in and is greeted by that same friendly front desk person. Now, the visiting patient goes through your consultation process of completing paperwork, having photos taken, and meeting with you, the surgeon, to discuss their recommendations or what their pain is and what you recommend. So far, so good. Now your patient coordinator takes over. Her job is to present the quote, answer additional questions, and book surgery. But is that what actually happens? How often do you hear from your coordinator the would-be patients walked out the door without booking, never to be heard from again? When asked, your coordinator will often say things like, "Oh, they were just price shopping," or "they can't afford it," or you oversold them, and on and on. But is that really true? I guarantee at least 15% of those consults were lost due to your coordinator not being skilled and or experienced enough to convert them. Your patient coordinator can be a game changer for your bottom line, so please choose carefully who is representing you. Now, the art of converting consultations is a very big topic, but here are 3 tips to get your coordinator converting more than ever. Tip number 1, bond early with a pre-consult call to pre-bond and pre-qualify so the patient is more likely to say yes than "I have to think about it." Answer objections with other patient stories, so rather than get defensive, let your other patients answer the objections for you. So show off your before and after photos and tell their stories so the prospective patient is more comfortable knowing others were just like her and had a great experience, and she will too. Also, transition from presenting to converting. This is subtle but vital to your coordinator's success. There comes a point in the process where you need to stop presenting and ask for a decision. Most coordinators say, "Do you have any other questions?" and they leave it up to the patient to wrap things up. A professional coordinator has planned out bridges she uses to transition from presenting to converting to make it a smooth transition and easier for the patient to say yes. For example, she presents the quote and then turns to her computer and says, "So Karen, let's see what the surgery schedule looks like so you have an idea of when you can have this done." If the patient doesn't object, she's moving forward, so keep going. Or your coordinator can transition by saying, "Karen, did you want to go with our affordable pay plan or use your own credit cards?" If the patient picks one of those choices, they're moving forward, so just go for it. That's how you close or convert without being pushy. This one converting skill, executed professionally, makes the difference between a 25% conversion rate and a 75% conversion rate. But like anything else in life, it's a learned and practiced skill. If your receptionist and or coordinator could use professional converting training, check out catherinemaley.com for the strategies, practice, and accountability they need to help you grow as well as them. By the way, it's a whole lot faster, easier, and cheaper to fix these 2 deadly sins than it is to throw even more money at advertising that doesn't result in more plastic surgery procedures. Just saying.